We're here at Celina Middle School where we honor our veterans. It truly, I will tell you that I was not able to be here last year, so this is a little extra special for me. It's been 2 years since I've seen so many of my friends sitting out here, and I'm glad to be here, and more importantly, I am so glad that you are here. To begin our day, as we do every day here at Celina Middle School, would you please rise for the national anthem and the Pledge of Allegiance? This summary of the history of Veterans Day, I want to make sure our students who are sitting out in all the classrooms right now, this is being broadcast out to all of our classrooms, understand the history behind how we came to celebrate Veterans Day. In 1921, an American soldier, his name known but to God, was buried in a Virginia hillside overlooking the Potomac River in the city of Washington, D.C. The burial site of this unknown World War I soldier in Arlington National Cemetery symbolized dignity and reverence for America's veterans. Similar ceremonies occurred earlier in England and France, where an unknown soldier was buried in each nation's highest place of honor. These memorial gestures all took place on November the 11th, giving universal recognition to the celebrated ending of World War I hostilities at 11 a.m., November 11, 1918, the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. The day became known as Armistice Day. Armistice Day officially received its name in America in 1926 through a congressional resolution. It became a national holiday 12 years later by similar congressional action. If the idealistic hope had been realized that World War I was indeed, quote, a war to end all wars, end quote, November 11th still might be Armistice Day. But shortly after the holiday was proclaimed, World War II broke out in Europe and shattered that dream. Of the 16 million Americans who served in the armed forces during World War II, more than 400,000 died. Raymond Weeks of Birmingham, Alabama, organized a Veterans Day parade for the city on November the 11th, 1947 to honor all of America's veterans for their loyal service. Later, U.S. Representative Edward Rees of Kansas proposed legislation changing Armistice Day to Veterans Day to honor all those who have served in our wars. In 1954, President Eisenhower signed the bill proclaiming November 11th as Veterans Day and called upon Americans everywhere to rededicate themselves to the cause of peace, a cause that continues to be the goal today. At this time, Mr. Parker Lime is going to come share a poem.
veterans. They were there. They remember the shock, the horror of watching strangers die, but life ended by a fellow soldier shaking hands. The unimaginable debt owed by every world can never be repaid. Still we try, giving up an hour a day to thank you for the burden you now carry, laid there so we can live our lives. They fought and killed. Enemies of faith, faces, identities unknown to bullets, shattering the protective shield, laid there by those they loved. One day here we honor you. For our lives, it can never compare. Still we try. Thanking you on this day for a million moments you lived so we could too. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to recognize various all of you from the different branches from which you served. So if you could stand when I call out. If you served in the Coast Guard, would you please stand? Coast Guard? Okay. National Guard. Do you have any National Guard servicemen? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Army. Navy. Air Force. Marines. Thank you all so much. Service is just absolutely invaluable. And now I'm going to recognize you by different eras and different battles, different wars, different conflicts. If you have served during peacetime, one thing that we do here at Celina Middle School is we don't make this just about if you fought in battle. We recognize that, especially today in a military that is strictly a volunteer service, you are volunteering yourself to serve and heed the call if it comes in that you have to go here and fight now. And so if you have served in peacetime and by the grace of God have not had to go into battle, would you please stand? If you served during the Iraq War, Afghanistan. May I ask, you're active?
Just separated a year ago.
Okay, fabulous. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. You served during the Gulf War. During Vietnam. Korea. And World War II. God bless you all. Thank you for your service. Again, this is something that we recognize is not, freedom has a price. And you have all been willing to pay that price. And for that, we are so very grateful to you. At this time, Mr. Dwanger's class has put together a PowerPoint for us.
Upon your name and
Our choirs have been working on a number to share with you. And we invited back some former middle school students. They've grown up quite a bit, but they came over to help Anchor. Anchor is here. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Trissel. And the 7th and 8th grade choirs, with some high school students blending in. Message, beautiful singing. Thank you, Mr. Trissel and choirs. Great job. This time I have Miss Grace Gramza, who is hustling from one end of the cafeteria to the other. She would like to share a poem with you as well.
American soldiers sacrificed so much, all for the freedom of our country, leaving their families and heading off to war, not knowing what the future holds. Working day and night, determined to stay strong, watching friends be killed every day, letters from home inspiring them to keep fighting. So little is given to them, although there is little to do. For those who have died in war, we can still remember. Remember all the men who have died, remember all the battles fought, remember all the tears families cried. Remember it was freedom the soldiers brought. To this very day, soldiers are unappreciated. Veterans Day is the day. The dead, living, and fighting soldiers.
It is something that we try to instill in our students. Veterans Day isn't just one day a year. The freedoms we enjoy are not given to us just on one day of the year. Every day we get to come to school, which is a blessing. That doesn't happen everywhere. We get to worship as we please. We get freedom of speech. We have freedoms that, again, every day of the year. So we honor all of you. And what we're trying to really teach our kids is that every time you see a service member, sometimes they just blend in. Other times they're in uniform or they're wearing hats, they're wearing, some kind of jacket that indicates they were, to say thank you. To say thank you. Because we want you all to know how deeply appreciative we are for what we get to celebrate and enjoy every day, which is freedom. I have a few thank yous I want to offer up before I make a few closing remarks. First of all, to our wonderful student council under the direction of Mr. Pete Lisi for a fantastic breakfast. Thank you. Although those breakfast casseroles would not have been made had it not been for Rose and Diana back in the cafeteria. Thank you, Rose and Diana. Thank you to our wonderful choirs and to our high school guests for coming over. Thank you, Mr. Trissel. Great job. And to my Dean of Students, Mr. Mike Sell, and our tech director has been floating around here somewhere, Mr. Clinton Hirschfeld. I am not a techie. They set all this up so that it goes live and we broadcast it and such. So thank you all. And most of all, we thank all of you. We thank you for your unyielding courage, the tremendous courage that it takes to step forward and to be willing to put yourself in the line of fire, literally in the line of fire. Bless you for your honorable service and for the immense sacrifice that you so willingly took on years ago and continue to take on today as we continue to serve all over this world. All over this world, we have servicemen and women serving us. We are so very humble and gracious and respectful of all that you have done. And so on this day and every other day, please know that we thank you more than we can put into words. God bless you all. God bless all who are serving. Everywhere they are serving, we ask for his protection. God bless the United States of America. Thank you so much.